Hi, Shira7. So this video is going to be about the planes that disappeared and were shot down in Asia. Okay, so do y'all remember that show, The Event, where the plane disappeared when it was threatened to being like shot down or crashing? The show starts off with this Asian guy, and he's driving really fast, rushing to the airport because he knows something's getting ready to happen. So then we have the Malaysian Airlines and the plane that disappeared, Flight 370. The plane in The Event also disappears with no traces or evidence to be found. The pilot of the plane name was Captain Michael, and he is the one that actually flew the plane, and the plane disappeared through this portal that was created to stop them from crashing. So now you have a show that only lasted one series and never comes back. It was a really good show. After that plane disappears through the portal, all of a sudden now they can start to see this other planet in view. And the Malaysian plane that disappeared near the Dragon's Triangle, which is sort of like the Bermuda Triangle, but on the other side of the world near Asia. Now, no one really knows how wide or these triangles are, or how far they reach, or if they have shifted. So now we're beginning to see things surface and happen on the earth. This underground pyramid was discovered in the Bermuda Triangle under the ocean. So a lot of things are getting like ready to surface on the earth. Now this Malaysian airline traveled this course and lost contact right near where the Dragon's Triangle is. So it just disappeared without a trace. No bodies, no debris, no anything. Now recently a plane was actually shot down out of the sky with the same airline, Malaysia. And to me, maybe this seems like a little bit of a coincidence, or it could have been a ritual sacrifice killing, all those conspiracies, or they could have been testing something to see if it was going to make the plane disappear if it had been threatened. So they shot a ground-to-air missile to hit the plane. And to me, like, I'm seeing the four elements. I'm seeing earth, air, fire, and then water when the firemen were extinguishing the crash. So I'm seeing a lot of things like that, but I'm not really too sure what happened there. I'll just leave that up to your imagination. But I really think they were trying to see if a portal would open if that plane was threatened. Now, Malaysia means mountain. It translates to mountain, mountain land, or mountain city. And going back to the show, The Event, this was a screenshot from the television show. Flight 514 was the flight number on that plane that disappeared. And 514 is the area code to Montreal, Canada, which also means mountains. Montreal means mountains. Okay, so 514 Montreal. Then we have the captain. His name is Michael, and as you can see on his shoulder, he has like the stars from a general. And a lot of people thought this was an error or a glitch in the filming, but if you look now, he has the pilot stripes. And it's kind of obvious if you pay attention. It goes right back to the stars, and this is for a reason, that he is donning general stars and pilot stripes. So I'm just going to show you a few pictures to compare the stripes and the stars so you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so this is a general in the military. You can see on his shoulders the stars. Now this is a pilot, and you can look on his shoulders and see the stripes. So there is a difference. And this is for a reason. It wasn't an accident that this actually was put in the show. because the pilot's name is Michael, and Michael is Archangel Michael, also known as Captain of the Hosts of the Lord, also known as the General of God's Army. And I'm just going to read this real quick. On the next slide, it's going to say, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout from the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord, wherever comfort one another with these words." So basically, I'm not really religious, but basically this is saying that people will be raptured in the air, in the clouds, up. So there's basically saying that there's a portal in the sky somewhere, because you can't just disappear into thin air. Okay, so Michael the pilot flies the plane into the sky and meets a portal of light. He goes into the light, which is the portal, and the plane disappears. Where does it go? Well, my theory is it goes into another time space, another dimension, possibly the past or the future. As you can see, there's relics and artifacts from thousands of years ago depicting aircraft. So it's possible. And also, time is not a line. Time is a spiral. It's coexisting with other time periods simultaneously. And it's not really one dimension. It's multi-dimensional. So everything is sacred geometry. Everything is a spiral. Everything is happening at the same time. So like the galaxies and the fossils and the things that grow on Earth, there's wheels within wheels within wheels and spirals within spirals. As you can see on the show, the event, the other planet, world within worlds, worlds within worlds. This is a crop circle and showing the same thing, worlds within worlds, planets within planets. So, and the Archangel Michael has wings. The plane is being flown by a captain, a pilot, wings in the air, caught up in the clouds. So you can kind of put that together, what they were trying to insinuate. So now on Earth, a lot of things are, surfacing now. We have that pyramid that was discovered in the Bermuda Triangle under the ocean. And then we have all these whirlpools around the Earth that have started to form. And you could see a lot of them from Google Earth. So there's a few pictures that NASA actually took. Here's one of them, and it's pointing to the North Pole, that there's been this hole, and people are asking about it. Is there, what's in there? Why is the hole there? Here's a close-up picture of the North Pole as well. And you can kind of see inside that hole that there's like light coming out, right? Okay. So knowing this, we know that there are worlds within worlds. We know that things exist outside of us as well as inside. A lot of people believe in inner earth or inner dimensions. So like this brings you to worlds within worlds, dimensions within dimensions, inside of other dimensions. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this. And we might not know that we're inside of a world, or there's a world outside of us, just like we didn't know when we were in our mother's womb that there was another world outside of that womb, or that we, were going to ever get to see it. We were just content in our own little world. So just as we're like an infant in our own little world, in our mother's belly, we think that's the world and the only world until we are born. Okay, until our eyes are wiped off and we can see. As you see, fetuses also start off in sacred geometry, and all things grow like this. It's a pattern, and it keeps repeating itself. So you can kind of see that time is a spiral, because everything is a spiral. Even our spirituality and our energy is a spiral. This is a Merkaba, and this is how the energy of spirituality works, in a spiral motion as well. Now Enoch, okay, so Enoch claims that he saw wheels within wheels. He saw many faces in glowing, burning embers of light. He saw beings inside of the glowing embers of light, or embers of fire. He said that there was many faces and wheels within wheels that were on top of, or that they were under wings of cherubs, which are angels. And then he also said that the chariot was burning coals of amber circles, and there were beings inside, and that the chariot was bisected, and on each side was a wing of the chariot. So what I'm thinking he probably saw, a lot of people said it was a UFO, or, you know, the God inside of a big light with angels on it. But I'm thinking he saw this, okay, because he couldn't explain himself. This is a wheel from a plane engine, okay. This is the inside of the engine that goes underneath the wing. You see, it looks like a wheel within a wheel. And then he said there was a spirit turning the wheel, which means he can't see the spirit, because the spirit was turning the wheel. He had no idea how this wheel was turning by itself, but it's because it's an engine. So, and then he goes to say that there were burning coals of embers with beings inside of them. He probably saw the windows that were lit up from the light inside of the plane, with faces looking out of the windows, because there were many faces, right? Yes. So, and you know what, an airplane has the lights on. You know, he says they were burning coals of ember, and back then they did not have light bulbs or anything. So this is the best way he could describe a lit up plane with people looking out of it, because he describes the wings as cherub wings, and the wheels within wheels were under each cherub wing, and there were two, and they were bisected down the middle. Well, he probably saw a plane, okay? Not a UFO, because this sounds exactly like a plane, and it was crashing through from another dimension, okay? And he saw this because these portals on Earth can lead you to different time periods and to different dimensions, and this is what he saw. And there's another TV show that's coming out called The Leftovers, and it's already out. It comes on Sundays on HBO. And it's about like a rapture as well. All these people disappear while they're driving, while they're in the store, while they're, you know, they're just gone. And the people that are left behind are called the leftovers. And not all the good people were taken, like bad people were also taken. So they're kind of wondering why, you know, this person cheated on his wife, this person was a murderer, this person was this. Why were they taken? So they start to question religion, they start to question reality, they start to question what life is all about, and this little cult forms, and, you know, they go around trying to do things to wake people up, and the main character show is this police officer, and he's also associated with the Archangel Michael, because Archangel Michael is the patron saint of police. So that's a good show to watch out for. So comment, rate, subscribe. I hope you like my video. I will see y'all later. Peace.